the eye is and how the eye works. Can you see the screen? Parts of human eye? Can you see the screen? Okay. So on the screen, if you see, this is our eyeball. It has three coats mainly. The white part, which is called as the sclera, and in the front of the eye, this gets converted into the black circular portion called as the cornea. Inside it is something called as the iris, which gives the brown color or the color of the eyes. In the center of the iris is something called as the pupil, which decides how much light can enter the eye at a given point of time. Behind that is the lens, which helps to focus whatever object we see onto the retina so that we get a clear image of the Now coming to the cornea, the cornea and the lens, these are the two most important structures which help us to focus the image of whatever object we are seeing. Cornea is cleaned and nourished by the tears and the aqueous humor. There is no blood supply to the cornea. Next, coming to the iris, which is the brown structure behind the cornea, which gives the color of the eye. So if our iris is brown in color, we will be brown-eyed. If this iris is lighter in color, bluish, then we will be blue-eyed, and similarly. So iris and the pupil together, it controls the amount of light entering the eye at any given point of time. Next, coming to the lens, which is behind the iris. So lens is the next most important structure which helps to focus the object onto the retina. Also, it absorbs the ultraviolet light from the surroundings and prevents it from reaching the retina and causing damage to the retina. Now, what is tear film and why is it important? So we know that the cornea is a very important structure as far as focusing of objects on the retina goes. And only when this object gets properly focused, we will be able to see that object. So this cornea is continuously covered with a tear film, which is a liquid layer consisting of three parts: lipids, aqueous, and mucin. So this liquid film or liquid layer covers the entire eye and the cornea, and its stability, quantity, and quality of tear film, quantity of tear film, and the stability of tear film. These three factors are extremely important for the proper functioning of the cornea. And without the proper functioning of the tears, we will not have a proper functioning of the cornea. And without the proper functioning of the cornea, we will not have a clear or distinct image of any object found on the eye. So this is exactly what I said now. This is the importance of the tear film. What are the other functions of the tear film besides helping the cornea to become one of the most important refracting surfaces of the eye? The other functions are, it has antibacterial activity. That means if something falls in our eye or if we have an injury to the eye, then this tear film is like the first aid, or immediately it has the antibacterial action, preventing any infection from happening in the eye very easily. It also helps in injury healing. Now, a brief information about how the tears are formed in the eye. On the outer side of the eye, there is something called as the lacrimal gland just below the orbital margin. From this, the tears are produced, and via ducts, they are entering into the eye from the upper and the outer surface of the eye. Then these tears, they form like a layer over the entire surface of the eye, and keep the eye moist at all times, the tears move from the external or the outer surface of the eye to the inner surface of the eye, that is towards the nose side of the eye. And here they get drained by what is called as tear ducts or lacrimal ducts into the lacrimal sac and finally into the nose. This is why sometimes when we put the drops in our eyes, we will feel that the taste of the drop we feel in our throat. So that is a good thing if we are feeling it. So now what is dry eye and why is it important? Dry eye is a condition where either the eye does not produce the proper quality or quantity of the tears, or the tears are produced in a good quality and quantity, but they get evaporated very fast from the eye because of the quality of the tears. So either tears are not produced in enough quantity or they are not of good quality. So what are the various conditions which can cause dry eye? Normally it was that elderly people above the age of 60 will have dry eye because their tear production gets decreased because of age. Women have a more chance of developing dry eyes because of hormonal changes, especially during pregnancy or use of oral contraceptives or during the menopausal period. Certain medications, if a person is on, they can also cause dry eye. Very common is cold medicine. If we are having cold and we take medicine for curing the cold faster, these are very common and especially used in children. So these medications also can lead to dry eye. Other people suffering from other medical conditions like diabetes, arthritis also can have a more chance of dry eye than a normal condition. Environmental conditions, these are most important and these are the factors which we can control. We cannot control whether we are going to have rheumatoid arthritis or not. If we have, then we will have the dry eye and we have to treat it. But environmental conditions, these are conditions we can definitely control. So exposure to extremes of climate, continuously being in AC room, not good. Continuously being in a very hot climate, people who are working near furnaces, housewives or others who are working for a long time in the kitchen continuously, being under the fan all the time, or exposure to breeze of any sorts for a long time, prolonged time. These are all conditions which can cause dry eye. And nowadays, the most common factor of all these that I have discussed till now, the most common is use of screen or gadgets. It was already increasing in the last few years, but because of the pandemic, last 2 years, the usage of screen has increased very, very significantly. And children, earlier we used to always keep them away from screen and mobile. But nowadays, if their school and everything is happening on the screens, then we cannot keep them away from the screen. So prolonged screen time is the most important factor here, which needs to be addressed. So in children, all these causes that I have told do have an effect, plus some conditions which may be common only in children, like juvenile rheumatoid arthritis. It is a condition of the children only. So children who are suffering from these type of conditions will definitely have more chance of developing dry eye. Some congenital disorders. Poor nutrition is very important. This is also very important nowadays for children. Everybody wants fast food. Homemade food nobody wants. So I'm not against fast foods or anything, but poor nutrition can cause lack of poor quality of the tears, leading to dry eye. Now, what will be the symptoms of dry eye? Whether in children, men, women, the dry symptoms will be more or less similar. First initial symptom will be slight grittiness in the eye, feeling as if something is poking in the eye. People describe it in different ways, as if something has fallen in my eye, sand has fallen in my eye, or I feel as if a needle is pricking in my eye. This type of pricking sensation is very common, along with burning sensation. After this, next comes tiredness of the eye, slight redness of the eye, maybe watering little bit. Still, if you continue with the same problem without getting it treated, then the eye will start becoming red. Next step will be getting a headache, a frontal headache near the eyebrow region. And if you still continue further without giving rest to the eye, then you can get a proper headache, neck ache also. So this is what I have said a couple of slides back, that due to the overuse of screen, when we get an eye strain, that is called as computer vision syndrome, or it is the same thing as digital eye strain. Now, why it happens? When we look, somebody needs to mute. When we are looking at the screen continuously, what happens is we do not blink enough, and blinking is very much required to spread the tear film over the surface of the eye properly. So when we are looking at a screen, then we do not blink very frequently. A normal blinking rate has to be like at least 15 to 20 times in a minute. But when we are looking at a screen and continuously staring at the screen, our blinking rate gets reduced, less than 4. That causes digital eye strain. That causes the tear film to evaporate very easily, and that is how it causes digital eye strain.
Hi Smriti, are you there? I do not have not having the right to unmute the participants.
So this is why computer vision syndrome or digital eye strain occurs. The computer screens, they are made up of tiny pixels, and in order to focus on them, we have to keep our eyes continuously focused on the screen without blinking, which leads to eye strain. And it is not only desktop screen, it can be any screen, laptop, television.
Mom, you are mute.
All types of screens will cause a eye strain. So these are the symptoms again of computer vision syndrome or of dry eye. They are the same symptoms. As I said, first you will get symptoms in the eye, which will be as if something has fallen in your eye, gritty sensation, followed by pain, followed by headache, followed by blurring of vision. And if you still continue, it will be severe headache with pain in the neck, back also. So this is what I said. Normal blink rate is like 14 to 15 times a minute. But when we are using any screen, it gets reduced to 4 to 6 times per minute, which is not good. Air conditioning, as I said, being continuously in an air conditioned room also worsens the condition. Now, why is it that we should not ignore the symptoms of dry eye? Because dry eye means that either the quantity of the tears that is produced is not enough, or the quality of the tears is not good. And as I said, the tears have other functions. It helps to give clear focus of image to the eye, whatever we are seeing. If our tear film is not good enough, then whatever we are looking at will not be clear. We will get blurry vision. Second thing, tears are important for maintaining the integrity of the eye and for any healing of injuries on the eye, micro injuries which are there on the eye. It also has a bactericidal action. So if tears are not produced in enough quantity, then we may have frequent infection of the eye, we will have blurring of vision, we will have lot of other symptoms like headache and other things. Simple activities like reading and all will become difficult. That is why it is important to note the earliest sign of dry eye and get it treated. So if any person is using the computer screen very frequently for any purpose, that is for purpose of study or purpose of work, then it is better that they should get an eye examination either before starting this job, or if they are frequent users, then regular checkups, say once a year or once in 6 months, depending on how much screen they use per day. So it depends on how many hours of screen time you have per day, how you use that screen. So whenever you are using the computer screen, in order to reduce this problem of eye stress, what you can do first and foremost is use the screen only when absolutely required. Do not use for unnecessary purposes. When you are using, see that the lighting in the room is proper. The lighting of the screen and outside the screen should be more or less balanced. Neither the screen should be darker than the rest of the room, nor should it be brighter than the rest of the room. Many of the times we see that children or even adults, they use the mobiles or laptops in the dark, in the night, because they do not get time in the day to do whatever work they want to do, so they do it at night. So you can do it at night, but keep the light in your room on. Don't put it off and don't do it the work in the dark. Then wherever you are sitting and placing your screen, that should be in a comfortable position. When you are sitting, your chair should be comfortable, your back should be straight, not hunched. The screen should be at a level with the eye so that you can easily look at the screen without having to turn your head up to look at it or down, bend too much to look at the screen. So it should be like you are keeping the screen on a table and sitting on a chair, and not in any position on the bed, sofa. That is not correct. Okay, so positioning is important, lighting is important. Then to minimize the glare, nowadays the newer screens, whatever are coming, they are of very good quality, but still if you want, you can use an anti-glare screen over that, over the monitor, or whatever glasses you are using, you can use them with anti-reflective coating. Even if you don't have a number, you can make a glass without number with anti-glare coating only for the purpose of seeing the screen. So this is nowadays, most of the LCD screens are, most of the laptops or screens are available with LCD only. So that is mostly taken care of. And a larger screen is better than a smaller screen, but it's only comparative. No screen is the best. Then contrast has to be adjusted properly. That is what I was saying. Neither the background nor the screen should be too bright or too dark. The lighting in the rest of the room and the lighting in the on your screen should be well balanced. If there is any window or any light in the room, preferably it should be from the side. And neither the light should fall directly on the screen, nor should it fall directly on the eyes of the person who is using the screen. Then when you are using the screen, remember and blink. Normally, when we are doing any other activities, our eyes will blink at least 14 to 15 times a minute, which we forget to do when we are looking at the screen. So if you are working on a screen and if that is required for you, then you have to remember and blink. Remember and blink. You can give intermediate rest to your eye. That is called as 20-20-20 rule. That means after every 20 minutes of looking at the screen, then you have to look away from the screen, away, that is at 6 meters or 20 feet away from the screen for at least 20 seconds. That is called as the 20-20-20 rule. This exercise gives some time to the eye muscles to rest and relax. And this time can also be utilized to blink. So this frequent breaks is very much advised for people who are continuously working on the monitor screen, IT professionals, and nowadays all students who are in 10th, 12th standard for the last 2 years, they have been on screen from morning 8 o'clock to night, evening 6 o'clock. So they also need this. After a certain time on the screen, let us say about half an hour or 1 hour lecture, whatever it is, 45 minutes, when that lecture is over, please get up from the screen, keep your laptop down or move away from your desktop, stretch your arms, legs, your neck, exercise it, look away from the screen, and then get back to work. So this gives a lot of rest to the eye and helps us to work more and better without affecting the health of our eye. This modify your workstation, that is what I was saying regarding the how you should keep the screen and how you should sit. Sitting position, sitting should be good, erect back, level of the screen with the level of the eye. You should not have to look too up like this or even too down by bending your head. It should be at the level of the eye. So what are the other things? Very common is diet. Question regarding the diet. So we have to drink a lot of water, on an average at least 8 glasses per day, and all the vitamin A rich foods, that is all yellow colored fruits, all green leafy vegetables. Fish is also good. So now that you know so much about the dry eye and why it is important and how you can avoid it, there still remains a question is, when should one contact a doctor for an eye complaint? If your eye, if you are following everything that I have told you while using your screen and still your eye becomes red or watery, or you are getting eye pain or headache continuously, then, or if you are finding blurring of vision at all the times during the day, not just while watching the screen but at other times of the day also, then you should contact your eye doctor. Also, for people who are going to use screen for continuously for many days together and many hours in a day, they should preferably go for an eye checkup once before starting the use of this. And then if the use continues like this 8 hours per day and continuously Monday to Saturday, then better to go for a checkup every 6 months. So to summarize the whole talk, screens have become a very, very important and integral part of our day-to-day activities nowadays for everybody, whether it is a child, adult, going to work, not going to work, for everybody. Without this, I don't think there is anybody without a screen today. So because of this prolonged exposure to screen, we are getting more and more problems or patients with condition called as dry eye, which was earlier we used to see only in elderly people, only in people who had certain diseases. But nowadays we are seeing it in normal individuals only because of overuse of screen or due to prolonged screen time. So what happens if we have a dry eye or eye strain because of this? Other problems may crop up. Besides the problem of eye strain, eye pain, headache, we may have other problems like repeated infections and difficulty in seeing and severe headaches which are unbearable. So because of this, we need to know about dry eye. We need to know why it is important. We need to know how to control it. And in spite of following all these instructions, if you still feel that your problem is not solved or it is not getting controlled, then best is to get an eye examination done by a professional ophthalmologist. So I think I have said what I had to say about dry eye. And now if any of the participants would like to ask anything regarding eye health or dry eye or any other thing regarding eye, please do so.
Thank you so much, ma'am. If someone is having any doubt, they can leave it on the chat box or can unmute themselves to ask the question.
Yeah, first they can raise the hand, then we will unmute them. So every student have to raise their hand, then Vedika will announce their name and then they will unmute themselves and say the question.
I'll request Arya to please unmute yourself and ask the question.
We should also stay away from the computer or gadget, right?
Yes, yes. You should keep a distance of 1 feet at least from the computer gadget. Whatever screen you are using, keep it away from you, at least 1 feet. That is 12 to 14 inches.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am. There is one more question. I'll request Nitesh to please unmute yourself and ask the question.
If eye damage cause too many diseases.
I didn't get you.
Yeah, if our eye gets red and it's damaged little and you start rubbing them, it get to many diseases, no?
Yes, yes, yes. If you are getting eye strain and if you are rubbing your eyes constantly, then you can have lot of eye problems. You can have some repeated eye infections. You can have a condition called as keratoconus, which decreases your eyesight permanently. So you should not let your eyes become too much tired by seeing the screen too much, and rubbing of the eyes is not good at all. Don't rub your eyes. If at all you feel tired in the eyes, then you should splash some water on the eye, or you can keep something cool on the eye.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. There is one more question from Yogesh. I'll request you to please unmute yourself and ask the question.
Ma'am, how we can prevent the dry eye?
Yeah, I have told this in my slides, but I will repeat it once again for you. First is decrease the use of screen as much as possible. That means use it only for studies and not for playing video games. Okay. Second, when you have to use, you should use it from a distance. Okay. Arya had asked the question and just now, you should keep the screen at a distance of at least 1 feet. Then you should be sitting in a good position. You should keep the brightness of the screen correct, not too less, not too bright. The room also should be well lit. The room should not be dark. And you should blink frequently. Even when you are looking at the screen, you should blink frequently. These are all the ways how you can prevent dry eye. And if you still feel the symptoms of dry eye, then see the doctor. And then they will prescribe you some medicines.
Thank you, ma'am. I'll request Dipanshu to please unmute yourself and ask the question.
How to stop the red eyes.
I didn't get the question.
How to stop red eyes?
Stop red eyes. You can, if your eye becomes red only because of screen usage, then you have to reduce the using of mobile or computer. You can splash water on the eye. And with that, it can usually stop. But if the redness is continuing more than 2 days, then there may be some other reasons of the redness. Then it is better to see the doctor. It may be allergy or it may be infection. Then better to see the eye doctor and get the treatment for it. If it is only because of screen, then if you take rest, if you take a good night's sleep for 6 to 8 hours and wash your eye with fresh water, then the redness should go. If redness is not going after the rest and after washing with water, then there may be other cause of the redness. So better to see the doctor. It could be an infection or it could be an allergy.
Thank you, ma'am. There is one more question. How much far should we keep the device from our eyes?
Yeah, around 14 inches, 12 to 14 inches, 1 feet.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. There is one more question. A sunglass is a harmful to us or not?
No, sunglasses are not harmful. In fact, they are good. If you are going out in the sunlight, then better to wear sunglasses. They do protect our eyes from the ultraviolet rays and the harmful sun rays also.
Thank you, ma'am. I'll request Yash to please unmute yourself and ask the question.
Ma'am, if by looking the screen, our head is paining, then how we can prevent the headache?
Prevent the headache, your first thing is reduce the screen time, Yash. You have to reduce the screen time. Your head will pain by looking at the screen only if you have looked at it for too long a time. Short time, if you have looked at the screen, it will usually not pain. By looking at the screen, as I said, first you will get some pricky sensation and burning sensation in the eye. If you still continue to use the screen after the symptom also, then your head will start paining. Just above the eyebrows. First, it will start above the eyebrows, and then if you still continue to use the screen without giving a rest, then you will get very, very severe headache. And if that is so much severe headache, then it will not stop until and unless you go to sleep by taking a painkiller tablet. So first of all, you should not allow it to go to that much level. So when you get the first symptom, that time only you should stop using the screen. And the first symptom is you feel as if something has fallen in your eye, pricky sensation it is called as.
Yeah, ma'am, when the head has become no, that it's starting from over here, ma'am.
I didn't get you.
Over here. When we see the screen, then
yeah, first headache will start above the eyes.
Here, no?
Yeah, it pains on the eye, above the eyebrows.
Thank you, ma'am. There is one more question. I'll request Yashdeep to please unmute yourself and ask the question.
Ma'am,
Yes, tell me.
my question is this, that if we don't have specs, so we can buy that Blu-rays lens.
Yes, you can buy, no problem. You can buy that lens without any number.
Okay,
you can use it, no problem for that.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. There is one more question from Yash Tiwari. I'll request Yash Tiwari to please unmute yourself.
Ma'am, how water helps in prevention of dry eye?
See, dry eye means, I told you, that a tear film consists of three things. One is liquid layer or aqueous layer, one is lipid layer, and one is mucin layer. So, aqueous layer means water. So, if the water in our entire body only is low, what we call as dehydration, then automatically tears also will be less, no? So, it is one of the things, not that if you drink a lot of water, all the dry eye problem will go away, no. But drinking less water may be one of the cause of dry eyes. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So drinking 6, 7 to 8 glasses of water every day is good for our health otherwise also. And it is also one thing which will prevent you from getting dry eye or prevent it from getting worse dry eye.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, my eyes are sometimes itching, ma'am. How to stop the itching?
Yeah, itching can be because of dry eye or it can be because of allergy also. So you can wash it frequently with cold water, or you can also keep something cold on your eye. You can take a cloth, dip it in cold water, squeeze out the water completely and keep it on the eye, or you can keep a slice of cucumber or something cold like that on the eye. That will usually prevent itchiness. Or you can splash cold water on the eye.
Hello.
Yes.
We can we put ice in a like some cloth and
yes,
then
yes.
tie it and put it?
Yes, you can keep a ice cube. You can wrap a ice cube in a plastic or in a cloth and keep it on the eye.
Thank you, ma'am.
And I also have another thing to say. There is a function on the mobile that helps with that. Should we trust that?
Which is called as eye safety, no? Yeah, you can trust that. You can trust that.
Thank you, ma'am. I'll request Lakshmi to please unmute yourself and ask the question.
Ma'am, my question was how many meaning in the day how many hours we can use the screen or how much time?
That is variable from person to person. Like some people will use for 6 hours and not feel tired, but another person may work for 2 hours on the screen and still the eyes may feel tired. So I think each one can regulate that for themselves. You should see that after seeing for how many hours your eyes get tired, and usually suppose if you find that after seeing the screen for 2 hours you are getting tired, then next time what you should do, stop before it is 2 hours. After 1 hour you take a break for 5-10 minutes, your eyes will get relaxed, then you can see for 1 more hour. That way you can do, but there is no fixed time. It is variable for each person.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. I'll request Akul to please unmute yourself and ask the question.
Ma'am, my question is that when our eyes are paining and it become hot, what we can do?
You can apply water. You can apply water, or you can apply any cold thing, ice or a wet a cloth which is dipped in cold water. Don't apply wet. You have to squeeze out the water, but the coldness you can apply to the eye. That helps. And teardrops are available. They can be used.
Teacher, I am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I'll request Ketan to please unmute yourself and ask the question.
All right, I think ma'am, don't mind. I also want to ask one question.
Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am. This is Ritika from Sharp NGO. Ma'am, actually, last year my mother got cataract surgery.
Yes.
So, ma'am, I want to ask that the doctor has suggested us. Yeah, doctor has suggested us to first boil the cotton in the water and then let it in the normal temperature, then clean it. So, why it is important to clean eyes with the clean like boiled water, not normal
because
water?
when we boil, when this is for after the surgery. When the surgery is done, there is some incision on the eye, so that wound takes some time to heal. So during this time, if we are putting the normal water, then that can lead to infection. So when we are boiling the water, it kills all the bacteria in the water. Normally also we know that boiled water is safe for drinking. So in the same way, after surgery, for the first 10 to 15 days, if you want to clean your eye, then it is always better to do it with boiled and cooled water, because we are sure that there is no infection in that water. Only that is the reason. Otherwise, in a normal individual who is not having any injury on the eye or no surgery on the eye, you can splash normal tap water also.
All right, ma'am. Thank you so much. Yes, I want to request all the students, if you have question, you can ask, but please do not interrupt or make noises. Yes, yes, Ketan, you want to ask something?
Yes.
Please ask.
How many inches we far from TV?
I did not get it.
Oh.
Hello, teacher. Bye. Hello, teacher.
Ketan. Hi, Ketan. I want to request you, please do not interrupt like this. If you are not able to speak here, like your voice is not coming properly, you can just go and write it down in the chat box. So if anyone have any question, please write down. Arnav, are you done with your question or you want to ask? Arnav Sharma? Yes, please ask.
Ma'am, how much time continuously we can see phone?
As I said, it depends from person to person. Some people, you have to see how fast your eyes get tired after seeing the phone. If you are getting tired after 1 hour or 2 hours, then you should see that you will always stop before that time. Some people are able to see for a shorter time, but some people are able to see for a longer time. So whatever is the time for you, when you feel that your eyes are getting tired, say after 2 hours, then you should stop before 2 hours. Do not wait till the eye becomes tired.
Okay.
Ma'am. And then take a break and then you can do again.
Ma'am, I have one.
Yeah.
Something.
I
Thank you,
want to
ma'am.
say, yeah, please do not interrupt. First, let us tell the name first, then ask.
Hello.
Thank you, ma'am. I'll request Bhakta to please unmute yourself and ask the question.
Teacher Chuni. Yes, teacher.
Yeah, tell what you want to ask.
Teacher, I wanted to ask 2 questions. Teacher, how to prevent eye strain, teacher?
First is do not use the mobile or computer screen or any screen too much. You have to use it as less as possible. Then whenever you have to use it for study purpose, keep it at a distance from your eye. Don't go very close to the screen. Third thing is, after doing some work for some time, say half an hour or 1 hour on the screen, you must stop it. Don't go on doing continuously. After 1 hour, you have to stop, then do some other activity, then come back to the screen. So don't do it continuously. So then you can splash water on your eyes in between. That will help. Remember to blink your eyes even when you are studying or looking at the screen. These are the ways by which you can reduce eye stress. You can also wear the blue blocking lenses when you are using the screen. That will help.
Teacher, second question is, teacher, teacher, if we are feeling like something is poking in our eyes, then what are the what we can?
Yeah, that is a symptom of dry eye. That is a symptom of dry eye. You can splash water on your eye at that time. Or if you have something called as tear drop at home, that also you can put.
Teacher, if we are feeling something poking in our eye, but nothing is there inside our eye, then what is the symptom of it?
Yeah, that is what? That is the symptom of dry eye. So you can splash water on your eye at that time, or you can put tear drop eye drop.
And even Bhakta, you can reach out to the doctor as well, because if you are facing problem on regular basis, this is the best option to reach out to the eye doctor first. Like ma'am is here, you can visit her as well or other doctors, so they are going to help you. Okay, so I think ma'am, we have lot of students who are asking lot of questions. So what I want to suggest is, if you are comfortable, we can just provide the mail ID, so there all the student can leave the questions for future, and then we'll reply. Yes, ma'am.
No problem. No problem.
Yeah, because there are already 14-15 students are still want to ask so many questions. So because we really appreciate that you are being so interactive with ma'am, and we are also feel very honorable because you have shown most interest in this session and asking these questions, which also give us that how the session have been taken in a good manner by Dr. Shweta. So thank you so much everyone for joining today. We have reached to our end. Thank you so much Vedika for moderating today. Thank you so much Doctor for joining today, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Yes, Yes, ma'am. I also like to thank all the teachers and the principal of the school who allow us and coordinate with us. So bye-bye. Take care, everyone. Have a very good day. So, ma'am, we are just ending this session, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, everyone, you can just leave all the questions to your teachers, and they can forward us, and then we will look after. Thank you.